Hello everyone, I'm Matt Mitrich, the alternate historian. Patreon-sponsored map analysis today, where I'll be looking at a map of the United States of America from a popular anime series. This is Ghost in the Shell Americana by Sean McKnight, also known as Why Not 1989. It is a fan work depicting the former United States from Shiro Masamune's Ghost in the Shell and the related series, Appleseed. Sean is an American alternate cartographer active in the online alternate history community. I even featured a map of his once on my old blog. Many of Sean's alternate history works can be found in the alternate history wiki or his DeviantArt profile. He's also the author of the Future History Second Renaissance, which has its own wiki. Back to the map. As mentioned earlier, this map is set in the world of Ghost in the Shell and Appleseed. Now, I freely admit I've never actually read or seen Ghost in the Shell, but I did watch a 2004 Appleseed film, and while I liked it, I did learn from researching this map that it is a reinterpretation of the source material and not a true adaptation. So what I'm trying to say is that I apologize for my ignorance about Ghost in the Shell or Appleseed while I analyze Ghost in the Shell Americana. My commentary about America's political situation comes from secondary sources and not from me reading the manga or watching the anime. I'm also going to try to avoid spoilers because I don't want to ruin the story for you or me. So with that out of the way, Ghost in the Shell and Appleseed takes place in a post-cyberpunk future set after a World War III that went nuclear, which shattered the geopolitical status quo. There was also a World War IV caused by the ensuing collapse of the Third World that was more traditional because I guess people got nostalgic for soldiers being mowed down by machine guns. Many nations across the world, including the United States, were balkanized after the war. Successor states that came out of the old US of A that you can see highlighted on this crappy map I found on Wikipedia are the American Empire, the Russo-American Alliance, and the rump United States of America. The American Empire is the closest we come to an actual successor to the USA, at least in terms of military power. Sometimes called Imperial Americana or Imperial America, it consists primarily of the southern United States and some of the Great Plains states. It came to be after what the Ghost in the Shell wiki calls the Conservative Party, which I presume they mean the Republican Party, seizing control of the South along with the help of the defense industry. The White Ring government wants to make America great again, and they have an openly imperialistic ambitions, especially against Mexico, which they invaded but were forced to withdraw due to fierce Mexican resistance. They are also allied with Japan for economic reasons because, unfortunately, their economy is in the toilet. On top of that, they have serious class and racial divisions. Crime is rampant, and major corporations are taking over aspects of everyday life. I'm legitimately scared about how plausible this future history is starting to sound. Then you have the Russo-American Alliance, or simply the Alliance. It was formed after Russia, which is much better off in this future, allied itself with some of the northern and western states of America. I found one source that said Canada is a member of this group, which combined with the American Empire would make the Jesus Land meme a reality in this future. It's also assumed they are more democratic than the Imperials down south. Although considering Russia as a sponsor of the alliance, I wonder if this is democracy as defined by Putin. Finally, we have what's left of the United States of America, which includes a scattering of states along the northern Great Plains, the Rocky Mountains, and Washington State. It's not clear why they exist and were consumed by either the American Empire or the Russo-American Alliance, but maybe they managed to get a hold of some nuclear weapons and warned any potential invaders that finishing them off would be expensive. To be honest, the best source of what America actually looks like is from the Appleseed ID book, which shows the US and the rest of the world. Also, if it looks like the world is Swiss cheese, that's because, as far as I can tell, there were giant craters caused by nuclear bombs during World War III. I'm pretty sure nuclear bombs aren't that powerful. Thankfully, Sean tried to address that in Ghost in the Shell Americana. Claiming that Shiro Masamune's description of the political situation makes little sense, Sean set off with his map to fill in the gaps and address some plausibility issues, like the fact no human-made bomb could make a hole big enough to swallow Rhode Island. And I think he did a great job. In Sean's version of events, the craters aren't man-made, but instead were created by meteors which struck the Earth in 2017 that devastated the planet and destabilized society. This eventually led to World War III, as countries fought over the dwindling resources. The conflict led to America collapsing to civil war in 2020. Russia intervened and established puppet governments along the coast, but faced tougher resistance in the interior. Eventually, peace is declared in 2022, with the newly formed American Empire establishing a buffer region with Russia along the Continental Divide, essentially explaining why the rump United States exists on the Appleseed map. Meanwhile, Russia forms an alliance with the Republic of California and the Democratic Republic of America and annexed Alaska, which is the Russo-American Alliance from the Appleseed map. The rest of the United States, including Hawaii, is divided between different independent states, including the classic alternate history trope, Deseret. Because even in the future, the Mormons just want to go their own way. Thus, not only does Ghost in the Shell Americana fill in the gaps left out by Ghost in the Shell and Appleseed's creator, it also corrects some glaring plausibility errors by changing how the craters were made. Granted, meteors impacting across the Earth and not wiping out all of humanity is probably not that much more plausible, but at least it's closer to reality than human-made bombs cutting holes in the Earth like an ice cream scooper. The map also looks better than the canon version, with its coloring and extra details, making it look less like someone just drew random squiggles over a blank map. Is it perfect? No. For example, I can't help but scratch my head about why the DRA would have Springfield, Illinois as their capital. Wouldn't they want a more central location, or at least one closer to the more populous East Coast? Nevertheless, this is a minor quibble. Ghost in the Shell Americana is still an excellent map, which showcases the creativity of fans that comes out when the original creators leave things vague or implausible. Well, that is all I have to say on the subject. If you like what I do, please comment, subscribe, share this video, support me on Patreon. I'm Matt Mitrovich, the Alternate Historian. Bye!